It is time with 3, 4, 5 red lights. And once again it is lights out, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Who's gonna get the best star? Out to Preston and Charlie, they go wheel to wheel. Slight wheel contact between the both of them. And now Preston is going wheel to wheel with Peter. Who will pull in front? Peter looks to get in front, but Preston nearly gets squashed against the wall by Peter. Not a good time for Preston. Can he get back up? Can he find his way through? Who knows? But Peter up to P2 now. However, Callum has unfortunately dropped down to P11. Hopefully we'll find his way back up. Who knows? But we're going to have a look back up a minute because it's ever so close between Preston and the two Alpines right now. However, Charlie is slightly getting away. Will he be able to get away, or will the Alpines or Preston be able to get overtaken? Will he look for the overtake? Our CTRS has been activated as Peter goes for it. Round on the inside of Charlie and gets the overtake up to P1. Peter successfully takes back P1. Will he be able to hold it against Charlie? Will Preston be able to overtake his old Season 3 rival Charlie right now? That is going to be an intense battle that we have not seen since last season. Or will something happen to stop him from getting the overtake? It doesn't look like it will. He's applying the pressure on what I think is only the outside of Charlie. And he successfully goes up to P2 very nicely by Preston, beating Charlie. Here's where it goes down. He has the DRS. He's closing in on Charlie, but he's not close enough, unfortunately, and he cannot close that gap soon enough to Charlie. But I'm sure he will get a rerun at it very, very soon. Don't you worry, guys. I'm sure it will happen very soon. And I've just flicked over, unfortunately, but George now gets the DRS as again, and he tries to look for the gap, but Charlie manages to close him off. He tries to go for the switchback, but it did not happen, and George stays P3. But now George is ever so close. A 0.4, 0.3, 0.2 second gap with the DRS closing in on Charlie. Who will get the best line? Will make contact. Why did I say that through? Oh my god, I could not get my words out. Words just did not want to work there. What is going on with me? I cannot commentate on my own anymore. I clearly cannot do it. This is embarrassing. Wheel contact between them both. A very unfortunate time. Oh my god, I cannot speak. A very nice time for George to get past Charlie with that P2, of course, through the wheel contact as well. Managed to get past Charlie, a nice overtake, but Charlie's now fighting back with the DRS. Will he be able to find the gap that George did on him? Will he be able to use the DRS like George did on him to get past George? I said George way too much, man, didn't I? I really did. But nonetheless, if we look down quite a bit, the old Season 1 World Drivers' Championship competitors are going at it, but Callum pulls to the side to let Preston pass. Still, 9 points is better than 6 points, as you know. But now with the DRS, Charlie is advancing on Preston. Who will get the overtake? Who will come out on top? And it's not going to be Charlie. Preston holds him off. Only just, though. But staying very, very still close to Preston, not letting him out of his sights as he goes round, tries to go around on the outside, but no, I think it was the outside, but could not get the move done. Did overtake at first, but Preston managed to pull it back on the outside. Second gap is Preston breaking away, or is Charlie gonna stay within his time? He is staying. Oh my god! Charlie has hit Preston, but lets Preston go because he knows he's in the wrong. He knows. Was that any wing damage for Charlie, though? It was. Oh, that has changed things. But now George trying to apply the pressure he can, but Preston tries to close him off. George tries to go around the inside. Preston does manage to close him off, only just. But George not giving up. This is a brilliant battle so far. Preston managing to keep him behind. But now George trying his complete best to close this gap on to overtake Preston round what I believe is the inside of him. He cannot get past him, but George now has the DRS. What will it be? It's looking like he's trying to find a gap on the inside. Now on the outside of Preston. Will he get in front with the DRS? No, Preston closes him off again, but Preston goes wide, and George with the switchback gets the overtake to take Peter off of Preston. Season 3, George behind Preston. Oh! George has slipped out, sending Preston straight through back to P2. It's like season 3 Singapore all over again. But yeah, I see a sector. I think George and Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen is retiring. A very unfortunate event. Callum spun as well. A very unlucky time for Callum. He has to try and hold this now. And keep this. People. As Peter comes around the final few corners, he takes the record-breaking season 4 3 wins in a row. He takes none other than Jeddah. He takes Hungary. And he takes Singapore. Not in that order because Hungary goes first, but you get what I mean. Peter takes his 3rd win in a row. And well done to him. He is now closing in on Callum bit by bit. Could he get 3rd place next race? Who knows? You're going to have to wait and find out and tune in, that's for sure. But on his return of a race, Preston takes P2. George then comes round to take P3 to extend his gap on Charlie ever so little by only 3 points, as Charlie is a little bit more behind him. P4 and will have to try his best to get across that line, but he is under no threat, so he will take home that win. But now Callum is I meant P4. I'm losing words. I'm honestly stumbling. But now Callum is under pressure by the AI of Lewis Hamilton. But I don't think it'll be any trouble for him at all, as he goes around the final few corners as well to take home P5. And that, people, will be the end of the Singapore Grand Prix. Thank you for joining us here. And Callum just about takes P5. What a great race it was. I hope you enjoyed it. And the driver of the day goes to Lance. I don't know why it's Lance Stroll, to be fair. We'll just not discuss it. And for what is a season 4 record breaking win, a 3rd win in a row, Peter comes walking out for the 3rd time in a row, obviously, to take P1. And it's a 1-2. No, it's not, because Preston takes P2. And George P3. Peter does it once again. A brilliant race. That is for sure. I hope you all enjoyed it. Congratulations to Peter. And well done. And potentially catch up to Callum. Who knows? It's only getting started now, people. But here we are for your leaderboard. Peter takes P1. Preston P2. George in P3. Charlie in P4 and Callum in P5. Thank you for joining us here for the Singapore Grand Prix. We'll be back with you next Sunday for the Imola Grand Prix. But before then, we have an interview from Peter and maybe George as well. We'll see if we can convince him. But definitely Peter on his race win here today. So do not go anywhere, people. We'll be right back with you in a minute. But see you next week as well in Imola. Do not be late, people. See you in a minute for the interview. Hello everybody and welcome to the post-race interview of the Alpine drivers. Of course today they managed to get the 1-3, not the 1-2 they hoped for, but still a 1-3 is as good as anything. And they join me here today, of course, the winner of today's race, Peter, and his partner, George.
Hiya.
You alright boys? How are you feeling after that race?
Yeah, I feel really good after that race. Today was very good and easy for me. Didn't have much competition out there, apart from the opening laps 2, 3, and just ones to 3. Charlie put up a good fight, but he just wasn't able to match the pace that I had in the locker today. The car was set up right. Everything about the car was just put my way. Qualifying particularly wasn't my best, you know. got a P3 in the end. Me and George both had a shocker qualify. Managed to get P3 and 4 in the qualifying.
That's fair enough. Good, good, good. Do you wish it wasn't raining? Do you think if it wasn't raining, you could have got that pole position?
Well, I did put it on provisional pole for a split, like couple seconds, but the track was improving. I felt it on the track. Towards the end, the engineer was telling me that the track's gonna lighten up. I was gonna gamble to go on inters, but if I looked at the deg and all the kind of like just data wise, and it it just wasn't worth gambling it, to be honest. So I just stuck with the wet, sorry, and then just lowered my fuel amount so I could get a decent lap in. At least then I'd know that I'd get a good lap in and I could put myself a bit higher up.
Fair enough, fair enough. And just one more question for yourself. Of course, you are the first person in season 4 to get 3 wins within a row. That must feel special.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a nice set of tracks come my way, and I'm glad that it's happened in the last 3 races. Hungary, I'm very good at. Jeddah, was a special moment. Me and George were fighting it out hard, and yeah, I managed to get the best of him at the final corner. But yeah, and then in today's race, everything just went my way. I managed to get past Charlie when I needed to without making any necessary contact, without, you know, making a hassle out of it and just falling behind him. I knew he would try and defend it as well as he could. And, he did good to try and defend me. But it just wasn't enough to stop me to get past him today at all.
Fair enough, fair enough. And George, how are you feeling after today's race?
Mate, I'm absolutely fuming. 4 spins, maybe even more. Surprised I still managed to get on the podium.
Second season in a row, a spin has costed you a position.
Yeah, it's criminal, really. If I keep this up, Peter's going to be the one winning the championship.
Nah. The championship, it could be close towards the end, but I honestly think George just needs to cut out, like, whatever he was doing at the start of the season is what he needs to replicate now. He hasn't won a race since Canada, and ever since it's been me and Charlie winning the races. So I would love to see George back winning, because at the moment I was tempted to let George go through at turn 1, because I want to prioritize George's championship more than anything. Like, winning and breaking this record, it's great and all that, and I love that feeling. But I really want to get George to secure this championship. Even though the championship's about like 40 points between George and Charlie, I really want George to win the championship. My aim is just to get second place and finish 1-2 in that drivers. And if I can continue this form up and I can keep on winning, so be it. I'll have that. But if the times are desperate and George needs that win, I'm more than happy to give the win up for him.
Fair enough, fair enough. And just one more question, George, for yourself. Of course, Charlie was your main competitor going into the first few races, of course, of the championship. It was very close. Do you still see Charlie as a competitor for this championship?
100%. I mean, he's still up there with me, isn't he? So, like, what's the gap? Like 30 or something?
Yeah,
like 40 something.
But yeah, I definitely see Peter coming up towards the end, but I definitely believe that Charlie will still be in the fight.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I won't say anything about constructors because it kind of speaks for itself, but thank you, boys, for joining the interview, and I will say good luck in Imola.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
See you in a bit.